Hey all, and welcome back for another round of HellfireComms Patreon TV comms. Today we are returning to Witch Hunter Robin to check out episodes 3 and 4. These are once again commissioned by Nocturne Privagini, and we're just going to get right on into them. If you need help syncing commentary to your copy of the media, which we can't provide for copyright reasons obviously, please check the video description. There is always specific syncing information to the media we're covering in there, such as video resolution, frame rate, video length, etc. So you can kind of match up the right copy with the ones we're using. And how we do this is we'll count it down into the first episode we're covering, and when that's done we'll ask you to close it. And after that we will count you down into the next one. So if you're ready, Volk, Witch Hunter Robin, episode 3.
Alright, let's do it.
In 3, 2, 1. Now, thankfully, I have retained a little bit of the knowledge of this universe and whatnot. I know there's Orbo, and then there's a lazy chick called Dojima, and I think there's a witch hunter named Robin in there somewhere, but I can't be sure.
Nah, I think you might be right, although I'm not entirely convinced. We may have to wait for a few episodes in to confirm whether or not that is indeed the case. Although, on the actual subject of Robin herself, she hasn't really been properly tested yet. Like, she's been around, sure, but she hasn't really been properly stretched yet. So I'm hoping maybe these couple of episodes here will maybe put Robin's true strength into the limelight, perhaps.
Did this happen in one of the earlier episodes of One Punch Man? There was this mosquito woman going around and buzzing people to death?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're correct, although I can't quite tell if this is mosquitoes or just the evil black dust. No, it's definitely mosquitoes.
What would your witch power be, exactly? We know Robin has pyrokinesis. That dude has insectomancy, whatever the term is. What would yours be?
Entomancy. That would be the insect one. As for me, powers over wind would probably be quite interesting, or maybe ice. Wind or ice, I'm easy on either.
Fair dues. I keep forgetting that the intro is basically a 2007 era YouTube AMV.
So true, but then again, we've had a few EDs recently that have fallen under that category as well. So, what are you expecting from these couple of episodes of Robin, then?
Well, I'm not even thinking about episode 4 right now, but as for episode 3, I wonder if we're going to get, again, like you said, Robin stretched to her limits trying to combat all these insects and whatnot.
Well, I mean, she has the advantage. I mean, fire versus insects generally a good combination. Otherwise, all the talk about spiders would not be met with a response of burn it all down, kill it with fire. Yep,
indeed. The moody dude there in the trench coat is Amon, by the way. I have basically logged away certain characters in my mind, so we may be covering a lot of anime series, but I'll do my best to remember where I can.
Mr. Badass and Ominous himself. Yeah, I'm in a trench coat. I'm too awesome for this job, but I do it anyway, because someone's gotta do it. God, I wish I could look that awesome. Why can't I have a trench coat?
Well, you'll get there, Robin. That's only for the top-ranking members of the organization, I'm afraid.
Like, it starts as a waist high, and then each year they add an extra couple of inches, and then eventually goes down to your ankles.
Alright, here we go.
I do find that Robin's powers are perhaps a little bit hypocritical if you think about it. Consider what people do with witches traditionally, at least from what we hear in tales of old and folklore.
Oh, right, yeah, because they burn witches and whatnot. The stake, as it were. Sorry, I should have remembered my Hunchback of Notre Dame, where Frodo's like, fuck me, or fuck the fire.
You know, there was an entire song about it, you may have heard about it, it's called Hellfire.
No, never heard of it, sorry, no. Definitely don't incorporate it into my fucking YouTube username or anything. I didn't actually, that's an old Hellfire wives' tale.
Ah, it is part of the folklore which we speak of.
Right, Katayama is the victim.
I was gonna say that, hey, he looks old for his age, and that's real big talk coming from the fact that Robin over here is 15 years old and literally looks twice that age.
Yeah, she looks at least 25.
Mid-20s, late 30s at maybe a stretch.
Back to the office. We gotta do more boring paper. That's like half of these episodes they had to cut out in the briefing process.
It reminds me a little bit of CSI in that regard. They go to the victim, they sort of like survey the area to find their first clue, and they're like, alright, I need you to run this through the scanner for me. It's just like, oh yes, it bewitches, alright.
Do you watch any procedurals, mate?
Not really, to be honest with you. Like, if my dad's watching them at the time, I'll maybe, like, stick around if it's, like, on an interesting bit, perhaps. But apart from that, it's not something I really go out my way to watch. It's not really my speed.
Not like SVU or typical Law and Order?
Not really, to be honest with you. I mean, I did try and watch a few episodes of Law and Order, like, way back, and I don't know, I just couldn't really get into it. I don't know, maybe I'm just not into the whole crime scene investigation thing. Like, I respect, like, the storytelling and narrative behind it, but it's just not something I look for when I sit down and watch the television.
Mm-hmm. Michael was trying to stop someone from hacking in there. Did he complete it? Or, like, because you just tore him away from a very important thing for a basic bitch meeting.
Maybe it's like in the middle of just, like, trying to stop this dude from literally taking everything. It's just like, ooh, tea break. Just walks off. It's just like, dude, you just let him hack into our systems. Like, well, sorry, you appoint me 15 minutes for my tea break. I'm gonna take it.
Well, yeah, the STNJ, the organisation they work for. You see, it's all coming back, Paul.
Mm-hmm. Well, thankfully, we have been paying attention, and we've had the scouring through the wiki articles and what have you to thank. Ooh, we're going right back now. I mean, we haven't had much talk about what's been going on, like, way back. A lot of it is just like, here's what the witches have been doing recently.
Yeah. The STNJ's job isn't really to, like, assassinate or kill, which is more to contain them, really, I found.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've said before, there's a bit like how the Men in Black operate, where they kind of just, they fight the witches and just sort of keep them under wraps. Otherwise, if this got out, I'd wager they'd be rioting and looting in the streets, like, without question.
Oh god, I just want magical powers, give them to me!
Patience, Tom, we haven't gotten that far in science yet.
Well, with my double F in GCSE, I'll never get that far.
Come on, you won't need GCSEs to get witch powers, they'll just come to you naturally eventually.
Would she even remember stuff at this point?
She seems very elderly and otherwise incapacitated, but if there's anyone that could trigger a memory, I mean, the elderly would do it. They just need a bit of patience.
Don't do that again. I will literally kill you, Dojima.
Imagine she was just trying to look for any excuses or, like, do the motorbike thing on the handlebar hair. Just like, let's see if I can get away with it.
Imagine if you just saw Kenshin walking through the background in that picture.
Hey, you can't go saying things like that just because it was the last thing we watched.
Fine. Balls exposed on the TL, I guess.
Way different time periods. You'd have to be alive for like nearly 300 years plus. Possibly even longer than that.
The Hotel. My favourite hotel.
Where we can have a nice na-na-na-na-nap.
Just like, it's all buzzing insects, we can't see anything I'm on. Well, that's part of our job, so get used to it.
I found a fly. Wait, we're not looking for flies. God damn it. Hey, I found something else. No, that's a moth.
Bed bugs? No, we're not paid to do that sort of thing, sorry.
Yeah, they're actually just the hotel inspectors. It's just like, alright, we're checking for bugs.
Hotel Inspector Robin.
Just burns it down if it's not to her expectations. So you get an F, and now it goes in flames.
Has he been resurrected? Did he actually survive? What's going on here?
I don't know, maybe he's one of those witches that don't age, but can be killed kind of scenarios.
Okay, so immortal but not invincible.
Or it could, like, be just, like, a literal reincarnation. Like, someone could very well have just, like, resurrected the person with witch powers. Oh man, this guy is so old school. He's using a trackball of what looks like a smartphone.
Maybe he has a grudge against witches?
Possibly. Although you think they could have picked a less obvious sign than the tattoo on the hand. You know, maybe try being a little bit subtle.
Right, so maybe he absorbs life force, and that's how he stays so young over the years?
A bit like a vampire or Nosferatu.
Yeah, and then he has to keep moving around just so he doesn't arouse suspicion.
I think I did something very similar when I was playing Plague Incorporated last. I was playing as a vampire and I was just like, okay, I'll just kill the entire population of Iceland, move to Greenland, kill all the population there. Like, nobody cares about those two places anyway, so I could probably get away with it. And then I'll just sort of sneak off into China and just bide my time until I can spread my dark plague.
Oh, so Kurata may have been the one hacking into their, like, mainframe to find the list of all the witches and whatnot.
So somebody out there obviously wants the list for themselves. I wonder if they're looking to snag them from underneath for their own personal gain, or maybe it's another witch who's looking to just get more recruits and thinking, ooh, these guys know where they all are. Let's get in on his list.
Hermon's given Michael the go-ahead to let the dude hack into his precious system, so I can't figure out Hermon. I don't know whether he's really smart or really dumb.
Well, it calls in aid of a carefully laid trap. Sometimes the best way to track down the hacker is to give them a little bit of resistance and then just slowly let them in so they don't assume anything.
I mean, it's like midnight. I kinda don't need the sugar right now, but whatever. We're young. You only live once.
Hey, you can't say no for a bit of sugar rush, especially if you're working on the clock.
You know what they say, Yido, you eat donuts once.
Or in my case, you eat donuts several times if the option presents itself.
Oh lord, ain't that the truth. How do you feel about scarab beetles, Volk?
I'm not at all adverse to them. I mean, I don't dislike them, but at the same time, I'd rather not be immersed by hundreds of the damn things.
You look alright. The mummy was just propaganda.
Now, if it were beetles, on the other hand, beetles I can get behind. Beetles are badass. Seems to be a bit of a focus on Michael in this episode, though we already kind of know what his deal is, but who knows, maybe we'll learn a little bit something extra.
Oh, he's in.
It's just like, alright, the parents aren't home, come in.
I thought that was actually on the screen for a second there, it was like a password.
Hey, what should we call the title of this series? Witch Hunter Robin, alright then.
Yep, works for me.
Man, this hotel's really run down.
It has so many OSHA violations, and I'm not just saying that because I watched that Polygon thing of which Smash Bros. Stages rack up the most OSHA violations.
This is a sort of house that Mike Dawson would buy without question.
I'm gonna need context there, mate.
From Darkseid, where he bought a rundown house and, like, went into the alternate world and started getting headaches.
Is that the same series where it's like, you missed, pal?
Yeah, but it's the first game as opposed to the second one, where he started living with his mother.
Ah, gotcha!
Well, we know that bright lights isn't his weakness.
Your little ponytail isn't getting away this time. Ooh, I'm gonna suck the lifeblood out your veins.
Well, I'm not sure how this is going to go down, because we're about halfway into the episode, and usually they wait for a while before they start just gunning him down mercilessly.
This is a stand. This is a fucking stand. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yes, the stand we shall call Jitterbug.
Nice. I like it.
Just imagine if the music was playing in the background. Well, you got the jitterbug back to my heart while I'm devouring the flesh off the skin of my enemies.
Not on beat as much as I like, but I appreciate it. Water will keep those things at bay. I'm not sure if mosquitoes have to abide by the rules of, like, Orbo, their protective fluid and whatnot.
Well, considering it's summoned by a witch, maybe? It's a little unclear. I mean, there's no harm in trying.
You're gonna make me take my hands out of my pockets? You do not want to see what happens when these little digits come flying. No, not the jars of fucking Kool-Aid!
Speaking of, you missed, pal.
Well done, Robin.
Oh, is this gonna be the whole thing about Robin? Like, she has fire powers, but she's absolutely terrible at using them accurately?
I guess. Yeah, Amon is not pleased.
Amon will remember this. I like how they're all just sort of standing around, just like, well, now what? This is a bit awkward.
What, is this going to be a two-part or something?
I don't know. Or maybe this is something that will be developed upon in the next episode. I can fully understand Robin's silence, however. It's just like, look, I'd rather not talk about it.
Yeah, you know, I meant to say something really smart and poetic, but it just came out of pop culture reference. That's how these commentaries go for me.
Yep, that is true.
Don't say that. You're meant to be supportive here.
Yeah, sometimes I can just say it how it is.
I mean, you were 3 hours late for recording, Tom. I'm going to be passive-aggressive to you.
Well, then again, I suppose it's not too bad. I mean, chores come first. If you don't do them, then you're just going to be accused of not doing, even if you did intend to do them later.
Black, like my soul right now.
And then the ambiguously gay barrister comes along and is just like, I've heard of this amazing place called Specsavers Opticians. They'll help you with your accuracy problem. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if it's literally an eyesight thing. It's just like, yeah, you just need glasses. If you know where the person is, you'll have a much better chance of actually hitting them. Wait a minute, did that guy just hand her like a cup of soup or something?
I don't know, man. I don't know how anything in this crazy world works beyond the witch powers, ironically.
So the old lady kicked it. I wonder if that would have happened if they actually caught the dude.
I guess we'll never know, though.
Or it could just be something that was coming, is the other thing. You can't just say that. You're supposed to be an investigatory team. You're supposed to be blunt. If you've got an idea of what could be going on, you're supposed to say it. You can't just go, oh no, where's the fun in that? Lives are at stake here, woman!
Dojima don't give a shit, mate.
She really doesn't. Well, unless it's anything other than work.
Yeah, shopping, yes. Solving murder investigations, no. This looks like a scene out of a fucking Nancy Drew video game.
Ah, yes. A successful escape. A toast to my amazing skill.
Oh? You feeling your age, are you? Ah, no!
I get the feeling this was me yesterday. It's just like, no, getting older!
Well, let's see you suck the life out of us this time, motherfucker. Hello? He's inside the bowl. That's his true stand power.
No, he's actually just gone into the other room to take a nap.
Just give me a few hours, that's all I ask.
It's like, come on, I'm an old man now. Cut me a break. Well, that's a very extreme of, oh yeah, I just got a bug in my teeth from riding around on my bike. It's just like, just swarm of fucking mosquitoes or whatever, just like, ah!
Jesus.
It's not a very nice thing to say.
Yeah, man, oh god, you're so old, so old. Oh?
Oh, you just got orboed, bitch.
Did he just take one for the team?
Well, he took a bit of a licking, but I don't think it was anything too substantial, thankfully. Fuck's he doing? Is he trying to summon Slifer the Sky Dragon or something?
I think so.
Or they're all gonna fuse together to make a massive mosquito.
Don't worry, I got it this time.
Well, the target's a bit too big to miss this time around.
Maybe she just needed a concentrated target, Lila.
Maybe, although then again, I mean, a person's a fairly big target as well, don't forget. Like, sure, not as big as a cloud of mosquitoes, but at the same time, it's a bit difficult to miss, especially when you're only a good 6-7 feet away from them. I just aged 10-15 years.
10-15 minutes, that's just as bad.
Now I have to endure midlife crisis and deal with this bullshit.
Amon had very tiny arms, though.
Oh, Jesus. Man, that is not a good look.
That's me after not getting 9 hours sleep. My beloved hacking network. I'll never let you be infiltrated again.
Though, did they really need a crack witch hunting team for this? I feel like they could have gone through this whole ordeal with just like a couple of cans of Raid or something.
I guess so. Oh, I see. It's donuts and coffee every time.
Same donuts as well. Standard ring donut, a churro, one of those jelly-filled ones, or maybe a custard-filled one. This is how I'm going to bother my teammates. I'm going to just sit in awkward silence and eat donuts and drink coffee.
I wasn't a cracker, I swear to God. I'm not white trash.
Oh, okay, so he wasn't necessarily a hacker just to attack systems. It's more just to, alright, I'm just going to show these guys what I can do.
Isn't that like what a lot of hackers do, honestly?
A lot of the time, yeah, although there are more than a few that are malicious enough that people will just assume, or rather, they wouldn't want to play it safe, let's just say that. It's just, if you got a hacker, then you're not going to want to assume that they didn't at least try to take a peek or take something.
Oh, so this is how he got recruited. Yeah, we've already been over this.
Yeah, although this is the more detailed account from what we got from the wiki article. Oh, okay, so I just assumed he just was never ever allowed to leave, but if he has permission, apparently he can.
Okay.
Alright, that's not, like, as bad. It's not quite house arrest, but it's near enough too. Well, I guess that's one which they won't be bringing back home.
Yeah, I guess.
Although it does leave me to wonder what they do with the dead ones. Obviously they still have the ones that are alive, assumedly somewhere.
You watch, down the line we'll have a witch who snorts that dust and becomes super karate.
I actually have a little bit of trivia in regards to this ending as well. Apparently, the images in the background are from the Maleficarium or something like that? Or Maleficarum?
Uh-huh.
The Witch's Hammer, it is also known. It was written by 2 monks and covered the appearance of witches and witchcraft and how to capture and try to execute them, and was actually a piece of documentation that was sanctioned officially by the Vatican.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to close episode 3 down. How'd you feel about that one, mate?
I thought that was okay. I liked the idea that obviously it seems like Robin has some issues controlling her power, whether or not it's just her power is just too great to sort of like focus in precisely, or whether it's something like she literally can't see her opponents properly and therefore just sort of fires any which way. Pardon the pun.
Great.
Obviously there's something going on here, and I'd be intrigued to see if they cover exactly what it is in the next episode.
I know this is on the older side of anime, but I have seen the whole using insects to, you know, retain youth and whatnot over the ages thing before, although for the life of me I could not tell you where from, but it's like a subconscious memory in the back of my mind. But yeah, that was it was fairly standard, but it was enjoyable. So if you're ready, Volk, let's do episode 4.
Alrighty.
Here we go, episode 4 of Witch Hunter Robin, second and final one of this batch, in 3, 2, 1. Okie what power are you expecting today, Volk?
Well, let's see. We've had the power of insects this time around. Maybe something to do with nature. Maybe something like moving the earth, or perhaps causing damage to the environment in some other ways, perhaps. It's a bit of an odd place to sort of like do your jazz band practice. Just like, yeah, let's just go out to the middle of the woods. I'll bring my double bass and hike it 20 miles into this forest.
That's actually Volk and I settling arguments, by the way. He's on the saxophone, I'm on the other thing.
You're on the double bass?
Thank you. You said it like not 5 seconds ago, and I immediately forgot.
It's alright, I forget facts too instantly. Quote the Raven.
That's a murder, by the way. That's a group of ravens. Or is it crows? I forget which.
Crows are a murder. I'm pretty sure ravens is something equally daft. Hold on, let me see if I can look this up. Hold on. Group of ravens. A group of ravens is called an unkindness or a conspiracy.
Wow, a conspiracy of ravens. That's rad.
Not nearly as ominous, but still, it tips you off to something, maybe something unforeboding or something.
I actually thought you were barking up the wrong tree with the whole eyesight thing, but even Robin just confirmed her eyesight was fine there after checking the glasses.
Interesting indeed. Maybe it literally is just going to Specsavers and then she'll be fine.
Well, I guess we'll see as we go on. We have another victim in the park right now, so we'll see if it's nature-related and whatnot. There are ravens involved, we know that much.
There is a conspiracy. This much we know.
Okay, Volk. Okay. One of my favourite memes is, it's like a bunch of, crows on a bench and it just says attempted murder.
That is a classic. I feel like, though, going back to the previous episode, that he missed a bit of a trick and had not the person literally made of mosquitoes. Like, sort of a Beelzebub kind of thing, sort of Lord of the Flies dealio. But maybe that's something more advanced.
It would have been a bit on the nose.
I mean, it would have been fitting, but I feel like something like that is best saved for way later down the line.
Do you think Amon knows that Robin is watching him on this really fancy set of televisions?
Hard to tell. I mean, Amon is awesome, but I don't think he has the power of clairvoyance.
Well, he has many secrets, some of which I'm not allowed to tell because I accidentally read ending spoilers.
Oh, dearie me.
I'm just trying to find information on the characters, man, and sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, it's always a trouble when you're just looking up things. You're just like, hey, I want to know a bit more about this dude. And then you go to look it up and just suddenly, he's like the big bad at the very end and he kills everybody you know and love. Your favorite character's an evil bastard.
Alright, I'll be getting out the car now. Or driving on. I always get those two mixed up. This is Robin's landlord, right?
Yes, that is correct. I'm not sure if I have a name for her.
Stubborn aesthetics, that's me all over.
So I wonder what she works as opposed to just being a landlady. I mean, she must have something else going on in her life.
Haven't we covered this before?
I'm not entirely sure if we have or not. We could assume that she has a job of some description, but I can't honestly remember for the life of me if it was revealed or if it's just assumed that she works in like an office job somewhere.
I will look this up by going to the Witch Hunter Robin Wikia.
Godspeed, sir.
Let's see. That's plot. Still plot.
I'm just picturing the whole Hi, I'm Daisy Persona comic with Nanako in the background just going plop, 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 plop.
Okay, Robin becomes Toko's roommate. So, not really landlady. Let's see. Toko Masaki. She's played by Melanie in English and Mami Nakajima in Japanese. Toko is the daughter of Takuma Zaisen, administrator of the STNJ, but they have different last names because Toko has gotten married before. She has also been in a relationship with Amon, who ended it, however.
Oh, okay, so we learned a little bit about Amon through that, but when that'll exactly come into play, I'm not entirely sure. It's bound to come up at some point.
Yeah, while roommates, Toko, however, does not want Robin to use her craft there. This is noted when Robin accidentally lights the stove's flames back on with her craft.
But just imagine the gas bills you'd save by being able to utilize it, though. But then again, considering what happened in episode 3, I don't think I'd be entirely comfortable with it either.
Yeah, you try to make a cup of tea and the whole flat goes up.
Yeah, that's not something you want.
I don't even bother going out unless there's like at least 3 inches of fog out there.
Man, getting a bit of phthalo blue on this thing.
Bit of titanium white. Did I ask your opinion?
This person's going to be the witch, isn't she? Maybe she's a pictomancer.
What is that in this neck of the woods?
Alright, so if anybody knows of Realm in Final Fantasy VI, this will all make sense to you, but it's the idea of painting a picture and being able to bring that painting to life. Although, I'm not sure how that would work. I mean, something like that you'd have to kind of organize. It's not really something you can really use on the fly, unless she finds a way to do so. That's assuming she is even the witch to begin with. I could be barking up the completely wrong tree.
So it doesn't seem like Robin's religious, but she does pray out of habit. I wonder why exactly.
May have something to do with her upbringing. I mean, she was raised in Italy, don't forget, so, you know, they have the whole things going on over there, so could just be something she picked up there, potentially.
Not as good as Raven, though. Caca! Who said that?
Ah, yes, you complimenteth the Raven. You are welcome within our fold, young child.
He says, learn to control your fucking fire at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. She buggered up the last mission, so she's got to run to paper pushing just for the meantime.
Alright, fine. I could light this on fire, no Robin, just the paperwork.
Look, when we said to burn the CD, we didn't mean it literally.
Heyo.
Yeah, what about the work you're supposed to be doing, Dojima? Sorry, I got distracted by your bold.
Yes. The light, it shines and blinds me, sir.
Maybe he's a witch. He can reflect the light off his head. That's got to be some form of witchcraft, surely.
Ah, bouldermancy. I'm kind of glad we're getting into the swing of things now, because it is a fairly serious anime, though it does have its, like, jovial moments, so I think just tackling them like this is best.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of slowly get the hang of sort of how the inner workings are, sort of like what the other hunters kind of do whilst they're waiting around for things to happen. So I think they maybe just be grooming Robin into, well, I suppose since she's new, she needs to be brought up to speed, so she's kind of being shown all the files and seeing how everything goes, who they're hunting for, who their potential suspects could be.
So we're dealing with serial murderer. They could either be a witch or a human.
I just want it just to be one time, just a regular asshole human. Just to see what happens, just like, no, our Orbo is ineffective!
Oh god, no!
They hadn't thought of this, muggles! Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It was very kept quiet, because, like, nobody had really found the body from that initial opening scene, so...
Yeah.
I wonder, like, did somebody find it, or did they just come across it and just think, ooh, alright, we better keep this under wraps until we know exactly what's going on.
That's just the two genders, really, witch or sociopath.
What about the third gender? Just being an idiot.
Human.
Yes, that's the one I associate myself with, because I am very damn foolish.
That trackball is like both jank and futuristic as fuck. I don't know how they manage that aesthetic.
I know, it literally looks like a very early, like, trackball panel from, like, the Atari era or something like that. It's, like, literally enough to be the actual console or terminal, but no, it's just a trackball with a couple of buttons.
Why the hell not?
Thank you, sir, for fueling my coffee addiction.
You're welcome. Thank you for fueling my business.
I mean, how much does he have to charge a cup to be able to keep his business going?
I want to see Vault proved wrong.
I remember doing this exact same thing when I first got my glasses. Like, anytime I had the opportunity to, when I was, like, just sitting around not really doing anything, I would just get my glasses and see, like, what can I actually focus on with these, and sort of, like, how far my eyesight actually goes before things start to get blurry. And for those interested, the answer to that question is, I can just about see towards my kitchen. Anything past that is all a blur, so to put it in an actual measurement, maybe somewhere along the lines of maybe 5 meters tops, which isn't a lot.
To be honest, Robin, you dress like a goth, you're a bit moody. Anyone could have figured that out without psychic powers.
Yes, you are also a fan of Edgar Allan Poe.
Ah.
It's like you've known me your whole life.
The best works of Evanescence. Yes, a delight.
I love how she can just be really smarmy about it. Just like, I don't need powers to read you. You're simple.
Yeah, so she didn't really like reinforce, she's just reading intense feelings, as it were.
It's more the point that she can also read the feelings of objects that have been interacted with as well, which is very weird, but I can imagine it being invaluable, because if a person's dead, sometimes all you have is the immediate surroundings, and if you could literally go, alright, I'm gonna touch this and see how this chair was feeling at the time of the murder, and just like, oh no, it was absolutely horrible, alright, I got the killer.
It's very interesting. In the last episode, I was talking about how this reminded me of One Punch Man, and now they have like the same kind of power rankings, like S ranks, A ranks, and whatnot. And Robin could be S rank if she actually learned to hit a fucking target.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different from Saitama, who's like very clearly an S rank, but like nobody gives him the time of day.
No, he's C rank, remember?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's very clearly like higher than S. It's just that he's put himself down to the lower rungs.
Ugh. Oh, Jesus! Someone's shaking the camera!
Who put JonTron's editor in this episode? All we need is a spinning text and it'll be complete.
Huh. Is someone controlling the ravens, maybe?
Then again, it's not that difficult to control birds. As long as you have like a couple of loaves of bread with you, you can basically lead them anywhere you like.
Oh my god, I control the future and the past via this bread.
It's just like some guy pretending to be a witch who's just throwing bits of bread at people and just letting the ravens attack him.
Just as a quick refresher, this is Miho Kanatsuma, a fellow hunter at the STNJ who possesses the power of psychometry. At the beginning of the series, acts as a mentor while Robin struggles with her... Ah, I see. Interesting. I won't mention the rest of that.
I'm hoping it's something that will be covered by the end of this episode, then, just for your sake. Oh, that's a bit odd. I mean, you would have thought somewhere like this kind of organization, you'd probably want that kind of camaraderie, since they have to work together so often, but to consider it as taboo, maybe they just want people sort of like interacting with each other outside of work and potentially answering too many questions? I don't know. I feel like you don't make a rule like that unless you have some huge skeletons in your closet. I mean, it may have something to do with the witches that were quote-unquote captured, but Hard to say. I mean, I doubt if it's something as big as, like, some massive big conspiracy within the STNJ, they wouldn't reveal it that soon.
That woman's dead and has just been propped up by the Ravens, hasn't she?
The Ravens are, like, inside each sleeve, just, like, pretending to paint. It's just like, this painting doesn't seem as good as the last one. It's just like, crap, she's onto us!
Oh, caca, act natural! Weakling, your weakness disgusts them on.
Quit whining, rookie! If you want a trench coat as long as mine, you have to put the work in. And thankfully, we already have 2 potential STNJ officers over there that will probably discover what's going on.
Hopefully, otherwise it'll be a very uneventful episode.
This is very much like episode 2, where there's like not a lot of action like halfway through, but it's all build up.
I mean, that's fine. I don't need every episode, especially in a series like this, to be action-packed and whatnot. Sometimes character building, world building is more satisfying in the long run.
I did appreciate sort of like the midway confrontation that episode 3 came up with, though, just to kind of break out of what I would assume to be the natural way of things within each episode we've seen so far. So they're not at all adverse to mixing things up every now and again, which I like. But there is a great mystery here. We still don't really have any idea who this killer or witch could potentially be. I'm still on the ball of the painter has something to do with it.
Yeah, I should probably go check out the painter in the woods, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean, she did get that confrontation with the Ravens, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily take her off the hook.
She hasn't moved an inch, and I know that's not uncommon for painters, but there's also nothing on the canvas, so...
Well, we all suffer from artist block from time to time.
I've been sat here looking at these same exact fucking trees for hours. Nothing.
Or maybe she just ran out of brown paint and is just like, great, now what do I do?
Oh, Jesus.
I can't just use green.
Oh.
She killed the Ravens?
Quoth the Raven, fuck, this hurts! Thought I'd gone deaf for a second, though.
Imagine if it's just like a giant raven. It's just like... like from Billy and Mandy, it's just like, alas, poor Robin is doomed to walk the pultrid streets of suburbia. A doomed husk of a child. Do not cry for her.
Do not cry! Great. Alright, what are we working with here?
Wait, did she just caw?
I think she did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, looks like we're going to be having roast turkey for dinner tonight, if you catch my drift.
I'm not sure. I don't think ravens have that much meat on them.
They were crows, mate. Very clearly just said it there. I'm going to pretend like I've been calling them crows the entire episode, even though I very clearly called them ravens.
That's fair enough. Yeah, kind of late on the uptake for Head Lady.
The crows versus the robins. It's very symbolic, you see.
Well, that's one way to do it, I suppose. Just slap her around the head. No! You stop that! It's just like the witch is just like, I was not prepared for this level of resistance.
Now, was she doing that consciously or unconsciously?
Maybe the birds were bidding her to speak the forbidden tongue and summon their lord and master.
It was the birds, I tell you, the birds!
You wouldn't like me when I'm dirty. Well, that escalated oddly. You ruined my new Gucci jacket! Yeah, kind of in the middle of something here. This woman's gone pro-loco.
Oh, she's got the creepy turn, Dan.
Hell yeah. They're just making it worse. You've burned her paintings now.
Yeah, you made her clothes dirty, you've burned the one thing she cares about in life. Nobody will soil Dio's world!
Well, if we can't ward off that kind of power, then what the hell is Orbo good for? We're gonna need at least one bucket of Orbo. This one vial isn't gonna cut it, I'm afraid.
Just like cut to a mod wearing a whole bucket around his neck.
Hi, my name is Ahmad, and this is the Ice Orbo Bucket Challenge. She's got the specs on.
Someone gonna tell her that to have, eyeglasses improve your eyesight, you need to actually wear them on your eyes.
Alright, that's much better. Although, do you have to, burn her hand specifically? That's a bit brutal.
Maybe she's that type of witch who uses, Doctor Strange kind of gestures.
Maybe so. And Amon's there with the back shot, just to be sure. Alright, so it seems like the glasses are indeed the answer. She just has poor vision.
What I was actually going to read earlier was, Robin struggles with her power-related ocular strain.
Oh, because, to use her fire powers, she has that little glowy thing in her eye beforehand, so... Yeah, that would make sense if the two are related.
Jesus.
Didn't they put What's-Her-Face in there from Death Note in something similar? Mika or something like that?
I wouldn't know, right?
There are yet more undocumented witches.
Yeah, because they're dead. Yeah, I got that.
I know a lot of people who get very much like that if someone, just remotely disrupts the things that they like. If you just put something out of order and they're the type of person that gets really bent out of shape over that. I mean...
Ooh. I'll fucking kill you, Volk!
Come on, it's not that bad.
I guess you're right, but I've already murdered 50 people, so...
That's alright, your secret's safe with me. Just don't release this part onto YouTube and you'll be fine. Just a long beep at the end, it's like beep.
What did Tom say? Did he hit Volk? What's happening here?
He's actually got the picture of the girl and the clown. We'll be right back.
I'm going to close that episode down. How do you feel about Witch Hunter Robin episode 4, mate?
I thought it was pretty good. Episode 3, definitely my favourite of the batch, I think. Episode 4 was sort of following the similar kind of pattern as episode 2 did, except that this witch wasn't on the list, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Although it was nice to see, sort of, as their investigation was going on, all 3 of their suspicions proved to be not the person in question, and it turned out to be this other one that they hadn't accounted for, so... Maybe we'll see more stuff like that, and maybe we'll see, more involved, or perhaps evolved investigations within the STNJ as a result.
You may have a point there, my friend. But, yeah, they're definitely gonna have to watch out now that, undocumented witches are, out and about. STNJ doesn't have them in the database, so they could come from anywhere. But yeah, thank you, Nocturne, for commissioning these. Let's see, do we have more Witch Hunter Robin in our future? We do, episodes 5 and 6, so look out for that next time. As for y'all, those of you who aren't currently pledged and whatnot, if you want your own TV comms, you can have up to an hour and about 15 minutes worth for the prices you can find on our Patreon, patreon.com/HellfireComms. They can be TV episodes, they can be anime, they can be cartoons, you can have 6 11-minute episodes, you can have 3 23-minute episodes, or just an hour-long television episode. So pick what you want, mix and match, it's all good. It'll be part of the same pledge anyway. We'll see you next time for another round of HFC Patreon TV comms. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.